If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Out here at Loyola, and if we're going to be at Loyola, we got to talk to Charley Toomey. And Coach, I'm liking this. This I like. I like it a lot more than what you were trying last season.
You didn't like the high and tight?
I didn't like. I didn't think it was for you. I didn't think it worked. I thought it works for me. I didn't think it worked for you.
Outside of my wife and my children, that's the first person that's told me that. So I guess I got to start listening. I did. I wanted to look like you. Quite honestly,
I appreciate that.
No, it was something where our strength coach said, "Hey, let's do this as a staff," and I was the first one in the chair. And then Coach Dwan and Coach Shamati looked at me and they ran for the hills. And so I was the only coach that ended up with a high and tight. And then what are you going to do? You're going to let it grow in the middle of the year. So. Yeah, so we've got our challenges. He's looking at me again this year, and I don't know. My wife is, thinking, is he going to do it? I don't know. We'll see.
It's not nearly as bad as those goofy Fu Manchus the Ravens were going with at the end of the season.
Yeah, luckily I can't do that. So I just don't have the ability to pull a Flacco.
You don't have like the players come to you and say, "Coach, we saw them. We thought they were kind of cool. Maybe we'll run with them this year," or anything like that.
No. Mustache Movember. I think that's over. So the guys are now thinking about the next scrimmage and certainly the opening of the season.
All right, so how many frequent flyer miles have you racked up, and how many more are you going to rack up this season?
We travel quite a bit. BWI knows us.
Right.
Southwest terminals, they know us pretty well. But you know what? That's a good thing. We recruit a young man here and say, hey, you're going to play in different areas, non-traditional areas. You're still going to play the local opponents. And the guys get excited, to be able to fly out to Detroit and play Michigan in the big house. Well, not this year in the big house, but hopefully down the road. It not only is going to be a challenge because you have to handle the travel, but you're going to be going to play a very talented program. Ohio State and Bellarmine down in Louisville, and out at Denver twice, with the Air Force in Denver. So, we're excited about it. It's a challenging part of our schedule, but it's something our guys look forward to.
It reminds me a lot of the Big East Football League at this point. It's all across the country.
Yeah, it's a mismatch. Yeah, absolutely.
It's really cool. You mentioned the Ohio State. I mean, these unique opportunities that you've had because of the league, and to go to a place like Ohio State and play in that atmosphere. And this is the place where they're setting attendance records at Ohio State this year. To go to places like this and experience it, we all sort of assume that lacrosse doesn't exist outside of Baltimore in this area, but to see the growth across the country has to be pretty cool for you.
Absolutely. And not only that, they're starting to draw kids from this area to go out there. So they're not, taking the kids out in the Midwest. They're taking kids from Baltimore. So, that's a challenge. I mean, all of the programs, the level of lacrosse is a pretty high level right now.
And the good news for this, you got this beautiful facility here at the athletic complex and another really good schedule. You still have to go across the country and play, but you end up getting a really good schedule back in some really unique, fun games this season on the schedule.
Yeah, we actually, this year is a challenging year in that we only have 2 league games at home. So we're on the road, for 5 league games, which again is a good thing and a bad thing. But we look at the schedule that we do play here at home, and to be able to have Delaware at home and to bring in Georgetown at home and Hopkins at home and Towson at home. Duke at home. It is a challenging schedule. You want to play well at home, but we know we have to win on the road this year, in conference.
I guess just a great opportunity to have more people come see this place and say, this is really amazing. I'm coming back to watch you guys.
Well, that's what we want. We're going to hopefully play off the success that Jimmy Patsos has started for us here. These kids on campus right now are pretty excited about our hoops team, and we're going to need them to come, down here on Saturdays, and whether or not it's at 7 o'clock at night or at 1 o'clock start, we need them to be in the stands to cheer us on. They're doing a heck of a job for Jimmy this year. You ever had anybody hit you up for tickets? I mean, this basketball game on Friday night is crazy. I mean, you're getting dude, come on! I know you coach. You can pull me too, right? This would be the year if it's going to happen. This is the year, especially as they announce that they've sold out. For Friday night. Luckily I've got my tickets, so I'm not worried about anybody else at this point.
No doubt. I was talking to Coach Petramala. He obviously knows exactly what he's doing between the pipes this season. He's got a hell of a kid. He's going to play him. You guys, it's maybe a little bit different going into the season.
Yeah, I've never thought that it was a good problem to have, but coming out of our scrimmage last week, we used our scrimmage versus Maryland to try and figure some things out. We played halves between Michael Bonitadovas and Jack Runkle, and I guess a culmination of 13 saves and 3 against. I didn't figure anything out. They both played really well. So we're going to go into the scrimmage with Harvard and hopefully have some good data to come away with, some good film, and figure out who that guy is before we play Delaware.
And the good news for this season is you return a lot of experience. There's a lot of kids that played significantly that were real contributors, guys like Sawyer and Ratcliffe. You're getting back, and you can sort of build on that moving forward.
Well, I would say that definitely on the defensive end. On the offensive end, we probably have 4 new faces down there with Michael Sawyer and Davis Butts. We've got Eric Lusby coming back into the mix. He missed last year, and Justin Ward and Nico Pontrello are really kind of settling in with Will Fredericks and a few others. Moved Pat Fanshaw to the midfield, and now we've got a couple transfers in Sean O'Sullivan and Chris Lane stepping up with Davis. And again, we're still gelling as a group out there, and we're still moving some middies around. But there are new faces, but they're not faces that are freshmen. They're faces that are coming in as juniors, and so physically they're ready for the rigors of Division I lacrosse.
Well, I think I'm ready to grow it out. I'm going to grow it out. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to call it the Toomey. That's what I'm going to do this season. We're going to go the opposite way. I'm going to try to look like you. How about that, Coach?
You might end up being a Chia Pet.
Hang on, I'll make sure nobody's looking, by the way. My favorite place to watch a game, right here. Don't tell anybody else. Coach Toomey, we appreciate it. Good luck this season, all right?
Thanks. Good to have you here.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.